Greetings, one and all, and welcome to our Star Trek Picard Episode 10 review, The Last Generation. It is so great to have you all here. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, Adega Outlaw, the Mad Doctor of Valhalla. Good morning, sir. Chris Persia, the Wrench of Wrenches, is here. Rambling Canuck is in chat and on this panel. Southern Viking, good morning. Project Cambrian, how you doing, brother? Mark, the infinitely tired, the Mad Wrench is here. He's angry. He's angry. Gary Badger Sandwich Worthington. Good morning. Oldest Gamer 72 Cutlass. How you doing there? Mary's Game Room is here. Good morning, Mary. She is running a charity drive. Mark, if you can drop that link in chat. Mary is running a charity drive for the kiddos. It's good to have you here, Mary. Good to see you. Bill Barkley is here. Good morning. Larry, the guy who's so great. You got to say his name twice. Good morning, Larry. How are you doing? We've got Bill Barkley. Good morning, Bill. How you doing? Project Cambrian. Snorted Poopus Cooper, my favorite polar bear on YouTube. Good morning, sir. It is good to see you. Good to see everybody here this morning. Let's see who else we got. We've got Brandon, Looney Tunes fan 2000. Good morning. He says, what's up, y'all? What's up, Brandon? Psychodorf 9 is here in lurk mode. Good morning. I guess we aren't getting eggs and bacon this morning. So sorry, Snorted Poopus Cooper. No eggs and bacon for you. Wop, good morning, Wop. How are you doing? Good morning, everybody. Apollome's Minion and the Pupper is here. Good morning, Apollome. How are you doing? Okay, so Shum, Flames, Mexican Iron Man, Kurtzman Trek, Nighthawk. Good morning. Punk Waddle, what is up, Punk Waddle? How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. So many cool people here. Southern Viking, good morning. Probably said that already, but oh well. Good morning, everybody. All right, so we just finished watching episode 10 of Picard, the final season. The Last Generation. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. I'm gonna have to get y'all's opinion on this. We're gonna have to do some. Hey, Bob.
So consistent.
Sucked. It sucks.
Mr. Consistent.
We're gonna have to. Me and Adega rolled the dice yesterday, and we're like, okay, this is what Dave Bob's gonna say. Roll the dice. This is the score Dave Bob's gonna get. So we will have to when we do the scores, we'll have to see what score you give it and see if either one of us were correct on what score. There are predictions that it could be anywhere from like a 3 to a -5. The predictions are all there, but I think we both agree no way it's going to get over a 3. So I'd like to welcome the panel members this morning. The lady, Arwyn Avalon, the lady of the Roided Owls, is here, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Arwyn. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good. Lots of thoughts on this episode. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Let's do this.
Let's do it. The host and founder of Reality Base, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Roger Athay. His beard precedes him, and his long curls precede him. Good morning, Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Loki. Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here with all you wonderful people watching, whether you're lurkers, people in the chat, or people on this panel. And hopefully we have a good talk about the final episode of the only season of Star Trek Picard in my mind. So, yeah.
I tend to, yeah, it's the only season. But one man would disagree with you, Ryan, and that man is the guy who went toe-to-toe with Loki to the Kirk versus Spock music. He's the Rambling Man from Canada, Rambling Canuck. How are you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm doing okay. I can't complain too much. I'll meet Ryan halfway. Season 1 and season 3 can exist, and season 2 never happened. I'll meet you halfway.
There you go. More than I got originally. And a surprise guest, the captain of weirdness himself, the fox in the hen house, Project Storytime. How are you doing?
Hello. Hello. Thank you for having me, Loki. I am interested to hear people's opinions of this because I have been watching this show behind the scenes for a while now, and I'm ready to discuss it.
Now I knew. Oh shit, we lost somebody. Oh, we lost 24. Holy shit, maybe he'll be back. Hopefully he will be back. I knew weeks ago because you sent me a message. You were like, "Hey, listen, I want to come in for the last episode." And I was like, "Oh, dude, I'd love to have you. You more than welcome to have you on, get your thoughts." And I've just kind of kept that to myself. Will he make an appearance? So it's good to see you. It's good to have you here.
Indeed.
And of course, the rooster in the hen house is here. Dave Bob, how are you doing, my friend, after watching the
I'm doing a whole lot better seeing as how this is the last time I got to watch this shit.
But not the last time you've got to talk about it, since we will be back next week to talk about the season as a whole.
Oh, God. you give me a lifeline and then you reel me back in?
Yep. Get his ass. Get him. Get
Thought he
him.
was done. Nope.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about this episode today. It's too much to go through like the whole season again. And we're going to come back and talk about the season as a whole and give it a final grade next Friday. That it will be our last Star Trek Picard walk through and talk about is next Friday. So yeah, one more day, Bob. And if you want to watch it all over again, you're more than welcome to. Before we do,
I'll pass. It's still burned into my mind now.
Should we have a watch party to watch all 10 episodes back to back?
Yeah. No.
Hey, Bob can host it.
I'll make Dave Bob numberberry pie.
And of course, the man, the myth, the legend himself, your entitled speaker, if you will, 24/7 Fusion Media. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. Just trying to stay online and shit. That's my battle for this morning, man. Like, damn.
Well, after all the rain last night, man, I can't blame you. I was hoping I'd have internet this morning.
Rain.
Well,
rain.
I mean,
we were complaining about rain. We got snow.
I mean, I don't know if you heard, but like about 3, 4 in the morning, it started coming down, and I woke up and I had to pull out the buckets and shit. You know how you remember how when you came over my house and you looked around and you were like, oh shit.
Coming down in the ceiling fans.
Yeah, all that
I'm
shit,
like,
man.
That's not safe.
That won't pass code.
No, that's not gonna pass code.
Yeah, no, but
That's
other than that, man, I'm dry, man. I'm happy to be here, man. So
I do have to say that it was maybe last week before, I can't remember. They came and fixed the roof, and I didn't get any rain in the office last night. So there was no dripping.
Yeah, I remember you told me
down the
about
walls.
that.
Fucking shit.
Well, we would suggest you move everything out of there. I'm like, where am I supposed to put this shit? I'm already out of room. I have nowhere else to put this shit. Where am I supposed to put it? Anyway.
On that, I would agree with Bill.
Oh my God.
That trailer should be expunged from all recognition, but that's not what we're here for, right?
Ship go. Strange New Worlds trailer. Make the ship go.
That was terrible.
Yeah,
that was awful.
That
was brutal. Brutal.
We needed to shut up, Wesley.
Right now.
That's what we needed at the very end. I'm going to say that. We needed that at the very end. We needed Wesley to pop in and be like, hi, I'm your... Shut up, Wesley. Both of them. Picard and Crusher.
Yeah.
Shut up, Wesley. Sorry. And he's gone. Who's that? Oh, that's your brother. We don't talk about him.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought Beverly Crusher would have a son that is responsible for the near destruction of the entire Federation, and he'd be the least embarrassing son that she has?
Yeah.
Uh,
God, that's crazy. No, it's crazy. So obviously, after last week, they were the entire Federation fleet had been taken over. Why? Because some idiot came up with this line of sight formation where all the ships link up together and talk to each other. It's like you guys learned absolutely nothing. And
That was
who-
Captain Shelby. That was Captain
yeah,
Shelby's plan.
Admiral Shelby.
Admiral.
Yeah, that was Admiral Shelby's little pet project. You would think that the one woman that was supposed to be an expert on the Borg knew better.
Would not
and
want to
she-
utilize Borg tactics.
and she
But
paid
whatever.
for it. She
did.
lost her life.
Yeah,
So,
I bet she's grateful for that cameo.
Along with a shitload of others.
Yep.
Shelby's dead. Shelby's dead. Shaw is dead.
Mm.
Everybody
there's
on
no-
the space station is dead.
Shaw.
Everybody that was on in space dock, and that's something that Josh said when they were fired. Why are they worried about the space dock? Okay, so the space dock that orbits Earth isn't just like a space dock. It's a defensive platform. It powers a shield that protects Earth. So the space dock isn't just a space dock. It's like a tactical station. So it's got, I think from the technical manual, it has 57 torpedo bays, over 100 phaser rays. It's loaded for bear to defend Earth, and it's got a shield generator that protects Earth from attacks from space.
Then why didn't the Borg need to take it down before when they attacked in Best of Both Worlds?
Because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
No, it was there.
It was always there. It's always been
What
there.
I'm wondering is during all this attack and the Enterprise is attacking the Borg cube, why didn't they send a few of their little ships back there to take on Enterprise while they were attacking the Borg ship? I mean, it's only Jupiter. That's like a 2-second jump for a starship.
Because they had to maintain line of sight with each other. Otherwise, the Borg would have lost control of it.
All travel together.
Seems like
Pretty
a
much
design flaw.
all the Borg was saying was fire, 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 fire.
Single focus.
Yeah, that was me when I had the NAS headset. The duck
Yeah,
hunt
why do they need to-
headset
Yeah.
instead of a gun?
Why did they?
Oh no! Especially when that dog came on the screen. Fire! 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 Yeah.
Why did they even need to vocalize their commands when they're all connected mentally? Why do they need to like say fire?
So we could hear them, because that's
Oh.
the quality of
Yeah.
audience we think
Yeah,
we
that's
are.
that's
our
the vocal.
benefit.
Yeah, that's the vocal version of a thought bubble.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the D inserted itself. Yes, Bill Barker.
Yeah, just how
there's
big was
evil-
that Borg ship? Since Jupiter's spot is like bigger than Earth, so how big was that Borg ship?
It was Unimatrix.
Yeah, what was left of
I
it.
don't care how big it is. There ain't nothing that damn big could hold together, especially in that gravity.
Mm.
Okay, so let's do a little. And then they never fully explain this, and you're right. I don't think there's an explanation where the Queen is talking to Picard, and she says, "You did this. You blah blah blah." What she means there is the Federation. She's blaming the Federation for the current state of the Borg, and it is the nanotechno virus that Admiral Janeway, old Janeway, inflicted upon the Borg during the last episode of Voyager. Apparently, all the drones are dead. The Queen is by herself. All the drones are
Except the ones that are still alive.
that are dying.
She's
Basically,
been
they're
feeding
rotting
on them the whole time.
to
And
stay alive.
when Jack came along, he was like the thing that they feasted off of to give their collective what little life it had back. That's why when they got rid of him, unplugged him, destroy that green thingy, everything just goes boom.
Mark says, hear me out. The implants made sense because the Borg were zombified.
Mm.
They were scrapping together to make one last assault. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, she was cut off from the ships. She was cut off from the rest of the collective. And she believed
And somehow
she
made
was
contact with the changelings.
Yes.
You know how Picard has been so conflicted and feels so guilty for all these years for what he done. He did. Now you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of young officers that are going to go through the same thing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Troy's going to make bank. She's not even a real counselor, folks. Oh my. Project Bacon.
Klingon.
Cocaine Klingon. Well, we already got cocaine Raffy. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, Mama just needs more crack, baby.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just-
she's
Oh,
a
they've
hero
mellowed her
now.
out over the last 3
She's a hero
episodes.
now. Her picture got flashed up on the screen.
Yeah. Probably good time to bring up the spoilers, Loki.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put those up.
But they-
Son of a bitch, Mike! Son of a bitch, Dragonstone tacos. Spoilers. All right,
But
there we
they've mellowed Raffi out over the last
Hmm.
half a season.
They
Without
did.
any
She's
cocaine.
bearable now. She's
Yeah.
bearable.
Yeah,
Before
they've
it's like,
mellowed her out quite a bit.
yes, which was good. That is a plus.
Yes.
So you're saying she's come down?
Yeah.
She's not high anymore.
Hmm. She's a D+.
Bill Barkley asked if we can address the elephant in the room. We're going to get
Yep.
there. The Return of the Jedi Borg Cube. I said that. Believe it
yeah,
or not,
yep.
when we were
Mhm.
watching it, I was like, okay, they're going to do a Return of the Jedi fly through of,
Mhm.
and they did.
Lando Calrissian.
Well, I have a take on that, Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was Paramount looked over at Lucasfilm and went, "Well, they're not going to do Star Wars, so we might as well." Moving on.
Dun, 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 dun.
And I'm okay with that. I had no problem with that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
And-
really didn't have a problem with it.
That scene where Troy's like, I feel enjoyment coming from you, and he's like, ha 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 ha. Data's like on the
Yeah.
ops
Data's
station,
like,
just
hold my beer, bitches.
yeah, hold my beer. I got this. My gut says I can do it.
Yeah, my gut. I just about busted a gut when I heard that.
Shrike 7171 says this
Oh
whole
my.
season was 1,000 times more Star Wars than
Yep.
Star Trek.
I agree.
You know what? If Terry, if I'm going to compliment Terry on anything,
Mm.
because I don't think the story was that strong.
No.
God,
If I
no.
compliment on
Oh my
Terry
God,
on
it was-
anything, it's that he brought characters we have been familiar with a large portion of our lives back, and he really brought them back.
Mm.
It's not
Mhm.
Jake Skywalker. It's not some wannabe Leia that Mary Poppins her way through space.
Mhm.
It's not a depressed husband that walked out on her on his kids and
Hmm.
his wife that claims he's Han Solo. These, we get Riker, we get
Mhm.
Picard, we get Worf, we get
For the most part.
Geordi, we get Data, and it's that familiarity and those characters that were like, okay, I can totally believe this is what Worf's like right now. I can totally
Hmm.
believe this is Riker after losing his kid and kind of not knowing what to do with his life and feeling like Troy kind of betrayed him by cutting him off from his feelings. And
Mhm.
I can connect with these characters and believe this is where they're at now.
Yeah, characters
like-
that had been through some stuff.
It's like 10 very bad episodes of The Next Generation. Put the 10 worst episodes of TNG, put it into a 10 episode season, and that would probably be slightly better than what we got.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
It's funny you say that. Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, okay, let's face
I
it.
mean,
We got some clunkers in The Next Generation, y'all.
you
We
go
really
episode 2
did.
of
Yeah.
season 1, episode 3 of season 1, and it would bring down the score so far. I don't think that your statement would be correct, in my opinion.
Yeah, this was better than some of those that we got in TNG, and I know that might be a controversial thing since this is new Trek, but
yeah,
when the rubber meets the road, if we're talking real and we're keeping it real with pop culture, yeah, and I love TNG. It's my second favorite, but
we didn't get Worf
some
where he
rolled my
belonged
eyes.
until season 2.
Yes, I
We
agree
didn't
with
get
that.
Geordi where he belonged until season 2.
Yeah. So
well, that's one of the things we've argued about is his daughter saying, "Well, I didn't follow in
Yeah.
Dad's footsteps and become an engineer." He
Yeah,
was
that was
the
their one
second
He
best
He
pilot.
started as a pilot.
Yeah,
He
that
was
was
the
their one
second
oops.
best pilot on the Enterprise, and they reminded us of that when Jellicoe took command, and he goes to Geordi and he's like, "Look, I want you to pilot this insane mission." And he's like, "I can do it, but the man you really want has been sent to his quarters because you don't want him as your first officer. You really need to talk to Commander Riker."
Yeah,
he was the second best pilot on the Enterprise.
Which brings me to one of the biggest fallacies in this episode. When you bring a guy on to be your pilot on the Titan, but I'm just a cook. Who the how in the why do you need a cook on a damn starship when you got your replicators and everything else? You don't need
blame
a damn
Commander
cook.
Neelix,
Besides that, I had to go back to the bodega to help my mom. You're in the future when nobody uses money anymore. You don't have to help your mom at the bodega.
Well, there are races that have money.
And Neelix was
and
kind of
even the Federation has credits.
Yeah, Cisco's dad had a shop. Don't you remember? Cisco's dad had a cooking shop.
War Monkey says, loved Anton Chekhov, president of the United Federation of Planets. That was wonderful. Absolutely, because they named him Anton. That's the first thing I said was, dude, they did it because the kid that played Chekhov in the JJ movies obviously died. He passed away at a very young age.
He was like, what, 24?
Stupid accident, too. Just
horrible
accident. He got
Freak
crushed
accident.
by his Jeep.
Yeah.
So I loved that. Apparently, that was Chekhov's grandson. I had to look that up before we went live. That was Chekhov's grandson. So to hear him say, there are always possibilities, quoting things that Spock said.
That was good.
Anton Yelchin, who had a promising acting career, and he was one of the few people that I really liked in the JJ movies. I liked him. I loved Carl Urban as Bones. Why? Because Carl Urban spent weeks watching episodes of Star Trek, watching the movies, and learning his mannerisms, learning DeForest Kelly's mannerisms. He even watched westerns that DeForest Kelly did when he was the bad guy, because he was a classic heel in his younger days. He always played the villain. And Star Trek was a departure from that, but it's what he's most known for.
Yeah, Urban embodied that complete spirit of Bones, and like you said, he nailed those mannerisms.
Yeah,
he really did.
And some people here absolutely agree with you. Celebrating Carl Urban is a great actor. Moods of Madness, professional.
I've never seen him in anything that I didn't like.
He kept the helmet in Dread, and he never took it off. He never was so, I have to take my helmet off, and you have to see my face because I'm Carl Urban. He kept that helmet on the entire movie.
He was even good as Julius Caesar in Xena Warrior Princess. And that's going back a ways. He was such a good villain in that. He really was. And he played Cupid too in that series.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. All I've got left is my bones. Yes. Good morning, Leia. Good morning, Leia. Good morning. Good morning, those of you that have been coming in a little later. Thank you for being here.
So,
what did people think of the Titan Enterprise-G rename? Ugh.
I hated that. The Enterprise F wasn't destroyed.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Okay,
I'm
so
assuming it was. When you change a name.
If anybody remembers Star Trek 5, remember Scotty when he's bitching about how crappy everything is on the Enterprise A. And he's like, let's see what she's got, said the captain. And then we found out, didn't we? The problem here is that the Yorktown is what the Enterprise A was. So when they saved the whales and they did all of that, the ship that was in space dock was the Yorktown. And it was rechristened USS Enterprise-A because of them saving the planet, and Kirk got commanded. The reason why everything went to shit in 5 is that is extremely bad luck. When you've already christened a ship and you've already named a ship, it is extremely bad luck for you to rename it.
There's all kinds of rituals that people go through when they change the name of a sailing vessel now.
Yes.
So you can imagine.
Yeah.
And Brogan Entertainment says the Enterprise F was decommissioned. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that because they didn't want to have to deal with rights issues for a potential series. Okay, so for those of you who do not know, there was a contest, and this was a very controversial contest at the time for Star Trek Online. What was going to be the design for the new Enterprise F? And hundreds of people sent in their designs for this ship. And out of nowhere, the Odyssey was picked, and no one knew who the hell sent in this ship. Out of all these designs and all these votes, suddenly this ship comes out of nowhere. No one knows.
But ugly ship, by the way.
No one knows where it came from. No one knows who the hell presented it, which makes me believe that they had it the entire time and we're just dicking around with people to get design stuff. But the Odyssey class comes out of nowhere and wins this contest. So if they didn't just rig that entire contest, and it really was someone's ship design, I can see that being a problem. But why use it in the first place?
Gary Bandrith, Sam Worthington sent that in. We have confirmation now.
What confirmation? What?
Gary Bandowich Worthington sent that in.
Oh, you sent
there
that
you
in.
go.
Holy shit! All right, well now we know. They don't want to pay him. They don't want to pay him.
No wonder they destroyed it then, because that's what I'm assuming.
And Chris Persia agrees they shouldn't have changed the name. I agree. It should have been the Titan. I don't like that they just forget about the F. You never have to bring the F back up again. What, you're gonna use this for Star Trek Legacy? You're gonna use the Enterprise-G for Star Trek Legacy? Come the fuck on. It was the Titan. Let it be the Titan. But
I agree. I'm very mixed on this. On one hand, I think they should have kept it the Titan, but on the other hand, to name it the Enterprise, it's kind of the fulfilling of the cycle, come to Jesus moment. There it is. Enterprise G.
It's strictly for fans. It's not for
it is.
the crew
It is
at
for
all.
fans. And as a fan, I'm like, okay, I see you. I see that nod, and I appreciate that nod.
I mean,
any little nods we get, I appreciate.
Yeah. And as War Monkey says, I fear.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
They were doing the setup that they were going to rechristen it the 1701 Picard. And
North-
I was like,
North-
no. And
I wouldn't have liked
so
that.
we got the lesser of the two evils when they called it
Yeah.
Enterprise.
I like
P,
Picard
the
would have been
big P.
pure cheese, and that.
But my problem with it being the Enterprise
Mhm.
is if you look back at the different Enterprises, they were always the top of the class.
Mm.
The
Mark
Sovereign,
disagreed with you.
the Galaxy,
Mm.
you know,
Flagship.
Constitution,
Mm.
you know,
Good
and
point.
you go back, it was always the top of the class that got that
Yes.
name.
That's
Yep.
a good point.
And now you have the Titan,
This tiny little
which
thing.
is like
Little scrub ship.
yeah,
It's a scout
not
vessel.
going to be the flagship of the fleet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
she's
what
not in Seven's not going to
Enterprise's
be the
main
fleet
role has always been throughout Star Trek. So how can you have the Enterprise being the Titan when it cannot facilitate the Enterprise's role traditionally, which is
Mhm.
the flagship?
Yeah.
Smaller ships, budget cuts. There you go.
I mean, the modern Navy pulls it off, but whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I
so I agree
almost
with that.
expected. I almost
Mhm.
expected when they brought the D back that it was going to have the third nacelle, that it was going to be the Dreadnought version that we saw in
Oh.
All Good Things.
Oh,
I would have really liked that if they'd have done that. I really would have. This was the culmination of All Good Things. This felt, and I want to go into this more next
Mhm.
Friday, but this really felt. This didn't feel like the end. It's like we already got the end in All
Mm.
Good Things, and we got a couple movies after that.
Mm.
But this felt more like an epilogue of
Mm.
TNG, the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're
Here you
trying
go,
to-
Kurtzman.
Yeah,
Wreck
they're going to spin a new series out of it.
Hmm.
The new next generation.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, that's what they're saying. Legacy is going to be Star Trek Legacy. They want Legacy to be with Seven and Rafi and all that.
Mm.
Captain
I would
Spire.
have been- Oh,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Just
Arwen.
throw this out. I would have been far more interested in something with Shaw. I know
Mhm.
he's gone, and I'm still a little bitter about that. But that would have turned my crank if they
Yeah.
had given him and have Seven be his number one.
Mm.
Because
But I
they
will
had
say-
a really, really good chemistry, and their dichotomy was interesting to me. He saw what she was, she saw what he was, but there was still a respect there at the end.
Mm.
And that
He
would have I would have been more interested in that.
He reminds me a lot of me, old and outdated.
But I
loved
will
him.
say
I loved
this. I will give one of the reasons I give Picard
vintage, Dave Bob, vintage.
Picard season 3 such high grades is because when was the last time in a Star Trek series of recent note
Hmm.
we have given a sweet diddly shit about any new character brought in?
Right.
And we
Right.
have Arwen saying Shaw should have been kept alive.
Mm.
Yep.
Any other Star Trek that has come out
Mm.
recently, when have we given two diddles of a shit if they killed off one of the new crew?
Mm.
Exactly.
I
Randy.
have-
And
I
he was
have
such
had-
a
I mean,
douche
I've
in the
had-
beginning, but I loved his character arc and how he grew.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
really did.
I have a
Sean
know,
was the only character that I actually kind of cared about because, like, when the bald Vulcan lady died, I was like, oh no, not her.
Me too. Oops. Oh well.
Captain
It was
Spire
over
has
25.
a $10
Enjoyed his
super
clip.
chat.
Go ahead.
Captain Spire is a $10 super chat. And he asked a really good question here.
Mm.
Where during this galactic proportion Holocaust are the Klingons?
Mm.
The Romulans, we get
Mm.
our one Romulan at the very beginning. We get one
Mm.
Klingon. So I
Mm.
guess that was, I don't know. The Andorians, we never get Andorians. Our good friend from Enterprise. God, what was his name?
Tran.
Shran. Thank you. Our good friend
Jeffrey
Shran's
Combs.
long gone. Just about any other species in the entire Alpha Quadrant.
Mm.
I wanted to
Got
get. I
some
wanted to touch on
ships,
this.
but
I wanted to touch on this issue. Yeah.
go ahead.
So yeah, You have at the very beginning of the episode, they're like, oh, looks like we're the cavalry. Why? Call for a help. Where's reaching out to the Klingons? You have Odo in the Great Link. Contact them. Aren't they interested in these rogue changelings at all? You know, it's like
Romulans called for help.
Call
No
on
one
help.
responded.
I agree with that to a point. I mean, yes, technically that would have been the smart thing to do. Okay, I agree with that because that flashed through my mind for a minute. But then I'm like, all right, here they are. You know, rubber meets the road moment. This is all happening. Boom, 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 boom in a really short period of time. This is kind of like Starfleet's last stand. It's kind of like in Lord of the Rings, you know, in the books, it was meant to be at Helm's Deep, the time of men, even though I loved it when the elves swooped in the movie, but that's a whole nother subject. But I took it as it was meant to be their last stand. So let it be their last stand. Let's see what they can do, even though realistically,
I mean,
yeah.
but no, I mean, okay, but let's say they do send out a warnings, a call for help to the Klingon homeworld. Well, when have we ever known the Klingons to act quickly on anything?
No.
For a giant battle?
By if you follow Picard, you know, as bad as season 2 was, and parts of season 1, the Romulans are in no shape to help anyone. So the Romulans are out. The Klingons, you have to get through the High Council for them to send. Do you have time for that? Well, so when you're arguing with the Klingon High Council that you need ships, your planet is destroyed.
Well, logistics.
So you're not calling on the Klingons. The Romulans are in no shape to help you at all.
Cardassians, Breen, Ferengi, Dominion.
Same problem as the Klingons. Same problem. You have to get their governments to approve the ships being moved. Well, you don't have that kind of time.
Romulans
logistics and planning alone are going to keep that from happening. I mean,
we've had this conversation.
You get into it.
We've had this conversation with First Contact. Why didn't the Klingons help? In the original script for First Contact, the Borg were attacking the Klingon Empire, the Romulan Empire, and the Federation at the same time. So you had multiple Borg fleets, multiple cubes in the Alpha Quadrant trying to take everything over at the same time. The reason why the Defiant ended up at Earth is they chased that cube to Earth. So that cube was originally fighting in Klingon space when it booked ass to go after Earth. And Warp followed in the Defiant. So Warp was actually in Klingon territory at Kronos, fighting with the Klingons when that Borg cube hightailed it to Earth, and he followed in pursuit. That's in the original script for First Contact. Now Paramount didn't want to do any of that and just said, okay, we'll have one ship. You get one ship and you get a battle at Earth, and that's it. So you didn't get any Klingon ships, you didn't get any Romulan ships, you didn't get any big fleet battles that you were supposed to have originally for that movie. But that conversation of, well, why aren't the Klingons helping? You think that if the Borg were invading, the Klingons are just going to leave their territory and send all their ships in the Alpha Quadrant to fight for Earth? I don't think so. They're going to secure their borders and secure their most important worlds and play turtle.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is exactly what the Romulans did during the Dominion War. They were like, nope, we're going to sit here and we're going to watch them burn you all down, and we're going to secure our space and beef up our defenses just in case the Dominion say, you know what, it's your turn next.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Geiger Borg Queen then, shall we?
We are getting there.
Who looks more like a brood mother from Dragon Age?
Yeah.
So the Borg have sent a unimatrix through a transwarp conduit. That transwarp conduit is stationed inside the gases of Jupiter.
Somehow.
So if you listen to what the Queen said, though, the Queen tells Picard that you destroyed all our roads. She was talking about the transwarp conduit. That's what Janeway destroyed in Voyager.
Yep.
The last episode of
Endgame.
Voyager in Endgame. So why is there suddenly a transwarp conduit connected to Jupiter if all the Borg have been there? There's plot holes in this episode. There are plot holes. There are things that are not explained. And this goes back to previous episodes. And here's where you're going to get most of my bitching about this season. And story plot holes and mystery boxes and all of this shit is this was not put together very well. There are things that are not explained. There are mystery
that
boxes
whole
that are never solved.
shooting folks.
How
and
did the changelings start working with the Borg?
What did the
Why-
changelings get out of their alliance with the Borg?
That's right. Was it just
Revenge.
the destruction of the Federation? Was it
Yeah.
revenge? We don't know for sure because guess what? Baddock and all her people were taken out. Okay.
Fucking
Who was the
solid.
person she was talking to when she cut off her hand? Was that the Borg Queen or was that
Presumably the Borg
something
Queen,
else?
yeah.
Yeah, it would have been the Borg Queen.
But we don't know that for sure.
Nope. That little fire-headed looking piece of crap. Who knows what it was?
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's a safe assumption, but it's also one of those things where it's like, no, that was such a prevalent part of that story plot. We want to know for sure. We
Spin-off.
want that confirmation of what the hell that Voldemort was.
Spin-off.
We can
was
assume
good.
it's the Borg Queen, and I think that's reasonable. But it's one of those things where it's kind of nebulous. You know, it could have been, it couldn't have been. We think it is, but we wanted that confirmed. I wanted that confirmed. I wanted to know who the hell she was talking to. I mean, she had to cut off her hand to do it. You know, they were menacing. I want to see that thread and where it leads. But I guess it is the Borg Queen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not confirmed, and that bothers me when things like that are not confirmed.
And I mentioned that when we watched the episode where Baddock was explaining all the nasty shit, the Federation, not Section 31.
Yeah.
Because that's, oh my God, it was Section 31, y'all. It wasn't the Federation. It was on a Federation starbase. It was a Federation scientist. We never, ever, ever are told that it was Section 31.
Right.
Not once. It was all Federation. And then none of that is ever argued, proven wrong, anything. There are problems here.
Yeah.
It'll be explained in the Section 31 show, Loki.
I thought it was
No
a
one has
movie.
mentioned the obvious. Vulcan was not destroyed in the timeline.
The only problem with that is that's about 200 or 100 years before.
Borg
This
can't
was
rebuild the conduits? No, because they collapsed.
Yeah.
When Janeway destroyed the those rings, the entire system collapsed.
Like a house of cards.
Like a house of cards coming
Yeah,
down.
it was a transwarp hub where it was like there was only like 6 throughout the galaxy,
Mm.
and they destroyed one of them.
That can dump Borg cubes and spears anywhere in our galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
So the conduits were the exits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Silence.
Section 31 belongs in the circular filing cabinet.
Mm.
They've got to come up with something. They've got to come up with a definitive answer.
Mm.
Because otherwise it just makes Starfleet look sick, and it makes Starfleet look completely
From what I
corrupted.
understand, Section 31 is just going to be a movie now. It's not going to be a
Yeah, I think so.
series.
Mm.
But it's not going to have anything to do with this.
No.
This is Michelle
no.
Yeoh's.
This
Right.
is like 100 years before this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
but
is
we've-
an Empress.
It doesn't have to be all of Starfleet, though, right? Even on the starbase, it doesn't have to be all of Starfleet. It only has to be a few corrupt.
Mm.
And
I'm just getting sick and tired of evil Starfleet, though. Can
yeah,
we
but
just
we've always had it.
Yeah.
To some degree, we've always had evil Starfleet.
an asshole admiral here or there? But I am getting sick and tired of it always being evil Starfleet.
Mm-hmm.
That's
He has
all
a
we
point.
seem to know how to
They're
do
just
now.
They're just taking modern politics and what's
Yeah.
going on today, and then just
Mhm.
applying it to that. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
Because I mean, like I said, I don't mind. It's not a big deal for me, I guess, because for me, I came in during TNG, and you go TNG, then you go DS9, and I mean in DS9 they decided, well, the changelings need to die, so I mean, oops. So the Federation is not always innocent.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
no, no.
Hold
on.
Yeah, we have a few,
TNG establishes
we have a few bad eggs, and during the Dominion War, which is when that capture would have taken place, they were going for broke.
Yeah, gloves off.
I mean, hello.
But no, because Starfleet did not design the virus. Starfleet did not design the virus that went after the Dominion. That was Section 31.
Yes.
Starfleet said, we're not going to do anything about it. If they did that, if Section 31 created that virus, we're just going to sit on our hands and we're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's not our problem.
They didn't create it.
No, but
TNG established that you've got some bad
part of Starfleet.
With the
so if they were the high moral
Pegasus
compass,
project, the cloaking device,
no,
with the Pegasus project, and with the admiral that was working with the Cardassians to take out the Bajorans, you had some bad admirals here and there that were doing some messed up shit. But you didn't have the entirety of Starfleet just turning a blind eye and going, yeah, sure, use our facilities, use our star bases, and just create these genetic freaks out of changelings.
Okay, but Loki,
it's season one all over again, folks.
I'll ask you this: how many times on a U.S. or a Canadian base do you have sections of that base that even the commander of that base has no freaking clue what goes on behind that door?
Life imitates art, folks.
Not as many as you think.
There's enough, though. Right? It's a need to know. And if you don't need to know, you don't know.
But I think that kind of proves the point that Starfleet, it may not be perfect as far as splinter groups or, like Josh said, your occasional asshole commander. But as a whole, they're doing what they can do either to survive or to, have this great ideal. And to say Starfleet as a whole is screwed up because of these set things that how it was presented by Vadic, Starfleet's never been that way. And we don't want Starfleet to be that way.
That's
Starfleet was always
and I get that.
Starfleet was always
it's not all of Starfleet.
Starfleet's job is to the truth.
But I'm going to have to get my
truth,
belt out.
Physical truth, whatever that truth is, that is Starfleet's mission, is to explore and to discover truth, whether it's scientific, just like Picard says in Drumhead. That is the perfect example of what Starfleet is and what Starfleet was created for, and Starfleet's job, not this other shit.
And being a Starfleet officer was always something that, as an audience member, you wanted to aspire to be.
That's right.
Who wants to aspire to being this evil, conniving asshole unless you're in Washington? But I mean, who wants to do that?
Half your country.
I get that,
Project.
and I'm acknowledging
Half
that,
your
but I'm
country.
just saying you can have a few bad eggs that spoils the card, and you don't have to brand the entire Starfleet as a bunch of idiots.
Agreed.
It's just
Have you watched this show,
just
though?
a few.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but a scientist torturing changelings on a
During
Starfleet
the Dominion
star
War,
base.
I wouldn't doubt it.
No.
No.
No, not during the Dominion War, not during any of it. On a Section 31 facility or on a Section 31 ship, I agree. They had their own ships, they had their own facilities. That is not what is being said here.
Yeah,
What is being
get
said
that,
is
Loki.
they were on a Federation facility with other people working there, not just the chick Vadic took the body of. And this is all happening, and just no one says a damn thing. No one worries about it. This is Starfleet. It's not the U.S. military. It's not the Russian military. It's not the Canadian military.
I
This
get
is
that, but I'm just-
Starfleet.
Yes.
If you
This
can have
is
it one
this is
place, you
supposed
can
to
have
be
it the other,
better
and it's
than
not a
all
stretch.
of this. It's supposed to be better than everything. This
And
is the ultimate aspiring to be. People are honored to join this because it's you are the best of the best.
And I also just want to point out how unbelievably stupid the entire idea is of here these changelings, let's torture them to make them indistinguishable and trust they won't turn on us. What?
Well, we never said we were brilliant.
You can't have it both ways. You can't. No. Canuck, you cannot have it both ways. You can't have it be people. These people are so evil and so genius that they're able to manipulate these changelings so that they're indistinguishable from anything, and also have them be completely idiotic and not seeing the flaw in their plans. That's just, it doesn't work that way. You can't have them both be genius and stupid.
But let's bring this back into real world. Where my brain goes, right? We did it. We would turn around and we would turn the enemy against the enemy, turn them to our side, put them out. And sometimes that worked, and sometimes it blew the up.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be better.
More evolved.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just like what Picard tells Homegirl in First Contact. We now work to better ourselves. We work together. We're not worried about money. We're not worried about power. We're not worried about any of this other shit. These are the ideals of the Federation. And that's just, they just ignore that. That's what we're saying. Can mankind do exactly what you're saying? Yes, but in this in this show, in this universe,
it shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
Because we're supposed to be beyond that. Now have some people cross some lines. Yeah, the Pegasus episode where they working on the cloaking device. That's some shit Starfleet wasn't supposed to do. But you know what? The entire crew of that ship mutinied, which was unheard of in over 150 years. Fuck that skank on Discovery. That never happened. 150 years before Mikey the Plank did it. It didn't happen. Why did it happen? Because they were violating a treaty.
Yeah.
Even though it was with an enemy, the crew said, we're not going to do it. And the only one that backed up that captain was Riker, because he was too young to realize what the hell was going on and what he was doing. He picked up a phaser and he defended his captain and he got him to an escape pod. And everyone else on that ship died. Why? Because
one
they were violating an ideal.
One ideal of the Federation conflicting with another. This also happens in real life with nations.
Which is where my brain goes. I look at everything that way.
Well, loose ends. This episode has created, and this season as a whole, has created a lot of loose ends, ladies and gentlemen, that will probably, knowing Kurtzman and his opportunistic streak, lead to more spin-offs, more this, more that, more content to milk this franchise to death. And in my view, folks, this is not Star Trek. Okay, 3 good episodes out of 10. It's great by new Trek standards, but no, 3 out of 10 is not good enough to be given.
It's not real Trek. Not a damn bit of it.
I want to address this super chat real quick.
Sure.
This is absolutely positively 100% here. Machini Draws with $10 super chat says, I've never seen a show create this much of a conflict between creators as I've seen with this season of Picard. I did. It was the first season of Mando. I think we're in the exact same cycle we are in now where we were in the first season of The Mandalorian. Thank you all for not falling victim to it. Thank you, Machini. I know Dave Bob absolutely hates the show. I know that Clobbering Times feels the same way, but we want to talk about it, and we want to do so without coming to like insults of fuck you for liking this, or you're a piece of shit, or you're an idiot, or you're a shill. I think that's the worst thing you can do, is call a group of people sellouts or shills or whatever just because they like something. I got into talking like this and being on this goddamn platform from people saying, how dare you question this and say it's bad? How dare you say
Mhm.
that this is crap? How dare you hate our changes? You must be an instant Obed and Yahtzee if you don't like this.
Yeah.
So when I hear a creator say that if you like this season of Picard, you're a fucking sellout, you're a CBS show, you're a employee for CBS or whatever, all I have to say is kiss my fat white ass.
Yes.
Or in my case, where's my money?
Yeah, that too. But like what I love about, this panel is, yes, we have Dave Bob, who absolutely hates it. We have a few other people that are kind of on the fence. We have a couple of people that like it, namely myself.
Me too.
And Arwyn. But here's the thing.
Mhm.
Will we get heated like we just did a couple minutes ago, where we're going back and forth?
Mhm.
Yes, of course. But I have the utmost respect for every person on this panel.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, it's Star Trek. And at the end of the day, I look at it through my lens.
Mhm.
Loki looks at it through his lens.
Yeah.
Arwyn through hers. Storytime by his. Dave Bob by his lens. Everybody looks through everything through their own lens and the way they perceive what they've been shown.
Yeah.
And if everybody agreed,
Mm.
there'd be something wrong, and I'd be checking their water systems because something up. Right?
Okay, I want to address this real
just
quick.
No, right?
Shrike says you want to make this more complicated.
Mm.
Terry was out there defending the Section 1 movie and telling YouTubers to shut the fuck up for criticizing it. What does that say about him? I want to say something really quick, and I want to be absolutely clear here.
Sure.
Terry Metalis is a douchebag. How do I know this? I know this because there's a certain little story about a certain little DeLorean sitting in his garage that he screwed over a certain someone that I know.
Oh.
So that little nice little picture of that DeLorean he's got in his garage, I know where he got that from. And I know who he fucked over to get that car. I do not like Terry. Do I think that he did a good job returning characters and the familiarity we have with those characters? Yes, I do. And I can say that because I don't judge people's work of whether they're a douchebag or not. A douchebag can create a compelling story that I like. Doesn't mean I like the person that made it, but I might like their work. And I'm not going to hate on their work just because they're an absolute douchebag.
He's got a foot in both camps.
Oh, I love a ton of movies that the Weinstein Productions put out.
Yeah.
And you talk about a scumbag.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the biggest scumbags to walk the face of the earth.
And those are some of the best movies of all time.
They are. And for me, and I'll just, I've thrown this out in general, but I'll just speak for myself personally. Okay. I've observed it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. People get pissed off when IPs get pooched. Rightfully, understandably so. I get that. But then when you see something that's trying, a company or whatever, a production that's trying to move the trajectory into the right direction, the one they should have moved towards to begin with, people are still pissed off. So at the end of the day, they're going to do whatever the hell they want.
It's too little, too late. I think we can all agree upon
For
that.
some people it is. But for this season of Picard, I see the shit that should have gone down. This should have been season 1. If they were going to do a Picard show, minus him being a damn robot, this is what they should have done. And I would have been on board with that. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but I would have been like, I see at least the respect that they're trying to give. I'm seeing the characters. I want to see, okay, member berries, whatever. When member berries are used just to throw in and suck you in like the love letter of the chef, it's too on the nose. It's irritating. It's insulting to fans. But when they go and they're utilizing the character, come on, y'all, it's Picard. Y'all know we want to see Wrecker. Y'all know we want to see Geordi. Y'all know we want to see these people because that was TNG. We don't want to just see Picard mooning around and just him and becoming a robot. No. We want to see
I'm
something
so
more.
sorry, Arwyn. I'm trying to do better next time.
It's like we want to see something more akin to this
Somebody
season.
took the reins from Stewart in season 3.
And I'm okay with that. I don't have to. It doesn't have to be perfect for me to see at least some modicum of respect and to see some lore being mined and to see something come together. I'm okay with that. And not everybody is, and I understand that. I respect that. Everyone has their opinions. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let anybody tell me who I am if I like something or not. That's where I draw the line. And I have purposely avoided every review and every opinion of the show because at the end of the day, what matters the most is my opinion. And I need to make an informed one, and that's by watching it. But that was my choice. So
before we get to the secret ending after the credits and our final thoughts on this episode, I just want to say one thing because I see this being brought up again about member berries. A lot of people have said, you know what, all this season is member berries. It's member berries about this. It's member berries about that. You bring member berries up. There was a lot of talk. The first couple of seasons of STD all the way into Lower Decks and some of this other dreck that we've gotten over the last couple of years. There is no respect for what came before. There is no acknowledgement of what came before. You all grab something and use it, but you have no idea what it means and what it meant when we saw it for the first time. The season may not save Star Trek. I don't think it is. I don't think it was ever designed to save Star Trek. I think it was a one-off. I think Terry did a good job. We'll get to the whole season ideas later. But when someone yells about it having no connection to what came before it, and then turns around and says, this is all just member berries about what came before it, I'm honestly confused.
Right.
What the fuck do you want? Do you want it to connect to the original series? Do you want it to connect to TNG? Do you want it to connect to something or do you not? Make up your fucking mind.
They want it to die.
That's exactly that's my feeling, Loki. I'm like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. What the hell do you want?
What do you want? Do you want them to honor what came before, or do you just want them to act like it didn't exist and never happened? Pick your fucking poison, please. Don't come back and forth. Oh my God, the entire season's about the things that happened on TNG. Oh my God, they have no idea what happened on TOS when this and this and this happened, and now they're completely ignoring canon.
It's an agenda, Loki.
But you can also look at it as TNG also had minor little references to TOS, but also tried to do their own thing while still being in that universe. There's a way to do both. Instead of what this season's done, where it's just been, hey, remember this? Oh, look, here's the Genesis device. Oh, look, here's that Romulan stone gas thing from Nemesis. Remember that?
Yeah, but to be fair,
there's a way to do that. There's a way to continue.
I agree.
Telling the story.
But I would say, to be fair, Picard season 3 had 10 episodes. How many episodes did they have in TNG?
Oh, at least 20, 25, 26.
25.
And I'll agree
28.
with this, what Shrike says right here. These companies have used member berries so many times to shield their crap product, it's hard to decipher what's genuine. I will agree with that.
That's an excellent point.
I will agree with that. I just want people to be very clear what the fuck they want, because it changes. It changes from season to season. If they honor something, which I feel there was a great deal of honor with some things that weren't just member berries, but then the story sucked, and I don't know. We'll get to that. Mahogany draws a $5 super chat. I think it was Dave Cullen who said that just because the characters are written and acting like they should act isn't member berries. And I will agree with that.
Yeah.
They got the characters right. Picard was not right in season 1. Riker was not right. Troy was not right. The characters were not themselves. It's like they were playing something else. And Patrick Stewart even said, "I am not that Picard. He no longer exists. The captain of the USS Enterprise-D, all of that's no longer exists. I don't want to be him anymore. That we're gonna go with something totally new." And look how well that worked out.
Yeah.
The Picard
Like I
apology
said, somebody
tour.
took the reins from Stewart in season 3.
Yes.
Yes.
So I
thankfully.
thank you, Makani. Okay, so let's go around the room. I want to get your thoughts and your thoughts and your score for this season. One more thing before we do that. Yes, Q is alive. And yes, he comes back at the end of this episode. And yes, someone fucking ruined that for me.
Poor Jack.
Before I ever saw this episode yesterday, someone was like, "At Loki, guess what? Your favorite fucking omnipotent being's back." And I'm like, "Fuck you. I'm going to report your tweet, you cocksucking bitch."
I'm sorry, Loki, okay?
Tried so hard to avoid spoilers, and you're tagged in one.
Yeah. How do you feel about Q
Well,
being back?
don't get
Suck
on
my
Twitter.
dick. I don't know yet.
Throughout this, yeah.
Just don't get on Twitter.
Yep.
Or do like I
help
did.
me.
The first
Don't
thing
get on-
yesterday morning.
don't
when I
get on
got up,
Twitter.
I
That's the
watched
best
the
advice
episode
anyone can
before I
give
did
people.
Anything else.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You think about the omnipotent Q being back. I'm like, thanks so much. I got to be on Twitter. You know how much Twitter shit I had to do yesterday. I'm on and working with people and getting stuff set up. And God, I've got to be on Twitter. I can't not be on Twitter. I can't. Shit, you see me without my phone in my hand, something's fucking wrong, or I'm on vacation. I'm not taking my phone with me on my honeymoon. That's for damn sure. Oh, okay. So yes, Q comes back, and yes, he makes a little joke about, "You thought I was dead, you humans, and your linear way of thinking."
Yes. Poor Jack.
Poor Jack.
Nobody ever dies.
He really dies. But the
Nobody's
trial
ever
ended.
really
Your
gone.
father's did, but yours is just beginning.
God.
And I loved Arwyn. She's like, "Why does he have such a hard on for the Picards?"
Yeah.
Got a boner for the Picards.
Yeah. His life mission is to piss off the Picard.
Or piss on
Auntie
the Picard.
Janeway,
Oh yeah.
Kathy.
Well, he was nicer to them than he ever was.
No, he
to
wasn't. He never sent them home. He easily could have.
I guess he's
Cisco
just
decked his
cute as a sick of doing the scarecrow with all the other Q that they do all the time. So he's back. Yeah.
Back. God help us. You thought you were dead. No. Never gone.
You wish.
Yeah, you wish. I'm dying. I hope you get back home, Picard. Sure, you my little bastard.
Well, it
It's
was
Mimo,
definitely-
Capitan. He's back.
That scene was
I do love
definitely
Q. I love
an
Q.
FU to season 2 of Picard, in my view.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of this was. A fuck you to season 1 and 2. They brought Data back after killing him. They scrapped that relationship with Seven and Rappy. They actually gave Rappy some character growth instead of, "Come on, Mama needs a hit, baby. Mama needs a hit of crack. Mama needs a fix." Oh God, how insufferable that shit was. Okay, so we're gonna start with 24. We're gonna work our way up from the bottom. 24.
What's up, brother?
Tell us what you thought about this episode. Any final thoughts, and give us a score.
Ooh, it was cool. Good thing nobody died. You know, I didn't want to have to see no one get killed off, you know, for any reason. So it was good to see everybody walk away from this one. I can just say that it wasn't what I thought it was going to be as far as like the end confrontation. I thought it was going to be maybe a bigger banger than that, but I guess, it played itself safe. I thought Worf was gonna die. Them dudes started unloading on his ass, right in clear sight, but I guess he turned around and skedaddled and lived. So I was like, all right. I don't know, man. I had a few questions. Now they kind of, after the course of the live, they kind of eluded me. So I'm still waiting on Kirk to pop up. You know what I'm saying? I'm still mad about that shit.
Yeah, because he's alive. His life signs show he's alive. So
I know, man. But
was that just a nod to the return? The William Shatner book, The Return? Was it just a little Easter egg nod?
They're gonna clone him for another series. That's what they're gonna do, I think.
And then
the Shat.
Yeah, so I think as far as my rating of it, I give this one. This one's I'm in between a 6.5 and a 7. I'd say I'll give it a 7, man. It's a 7.
Okay. All right. Project Story Time.
Okay, so judging this episode in terms of just this season of Picard. Okay, so basing it off of just this season, there's 10 episodes, so theoretically, every episode has a rating of 1 to 10 because there's only 10. I would give this episode a 6 out of 10 then.
Okay.
That said, based on Star Trek as a whole, it's a 2 or a 3. I've overall have not been impressed with this season at all, but we'll talk about that next week.
Okay. All right. Rambling Canuck.
All right. So for me, this last episode was about a 7.5, and I'll explain why. Most two-parter finishers, even going back to TNG, the first was better than the second part. And this was the case here. Episode 9 was better than episode 10. And it's just, us old Trekkies will say that's the trope. But, it's they honored that tradition. But there were moments in this episode that were so great. The conversations between Riker and Worf in the cube. The goodbye speech Picard gives, where we all thought, where I thought, Picard ain't leaving that cube. Because he's saying goodbye to everybody. And he's finally facing the Borg instead of running away. And then I really liked the Tuvok and 7 of 9 moment that they got on screen together again. That was really good. I can buy a certain amount of the loopholes because you're going to have it no matter what. There's always going to be. I mean, if we didn't have loopholes in Star Trek, we wouldn't have fanfic. No. There wouldn't be a fanfic out there if there wasn't loopholes in Star Trek. There's been loopholes all the way through. I mean, Jesus, TNG, everything was solved by the deflector dish. The most important damn device on the Enterprise-D was the deflector dish. But for me, there were a lot of moments in this episode that made hit you in the feels and in the right way. And there were some that you would just go, that fell flat. But there were more that didn't fall flat than there were that did. And I'll say that throughout the season. more landed than fell flat. And so for me, it's a 7. It's a 7.5.
7.5. 7.5. All right, guys, if you haven't voted in our poll, the Dave Bob rating guess, please vote now before we get an answer. Right now we are at 1. A 1 was 64%. I should have put a 0 in there and a negative, but I didn't think about it. So you got a 1, a 2, a 2.5, and a 3. We're going to find out the real answer here in just a moment. We're going to end the poll. So if you haven't voted, vote now. We got 13, 14, 15. Get your votes in now. We'll give you 5 seconds, and then we'll ask the man himself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are ending the poll now. We've got 17, 18 votes, 19 votes. Hold on 1 second. Any more? 20 votes. We've got 20 votes. We're going to end it there with 20 votes. The poll right now is a 1 at 69%, a 2 at 15%, a 3 at 10%, and a 2.5 at 5%. So the least likely is a 2.5. The most likely is a 1. Dave Bob, let's get your rating for this finale episode, and get your thoughts on why you're giving it that rating and your final thoughts on the episode.
Honestly, this, in my opinion, was the weakest episode of the whole series. It was derivative. They took, liberties with other properties, and that ending, with Q, that just, to me, that was just the suckage to beat all suckage. So overall, I'm gonna have to give it a 0.5. 0.5. But seeing as how it's the last one, I'll give it an extra half a point for a 1.
No, 1 was correct.
So last night, me and Adega actually agreed that you were going to give it a 1 this morning. So we were both right.
Dang.
You would give it a 1. Oh yeah, Adega Outlaw said Adega.
That's it. That's all, folks.
All right.
Till next week.
Yes, till next week. I've just got to torture my co-host on Friday. Because I love him. Roger Athay. Let us know what you thought about this episode. Give us your score and tell us why you scored it that way.
Well, I really enjoyed this episode, mainly because of the action-adventure aspect of it. The ships, the firing. I was like, Jesus, when the entire ship was attacking that space dock. But the character scenes, except near the end with where they were all on the cube, that I found to be good. But all the stuff with Raffi and Seven, them on that Titan, it's like, it all fell flat for me. But I did enjoy this episode. It wasn't as good as the last one. So I'm going to give this episode a solid 6 out of 10 because it did create a lot of loose ends that do need tying up. And you're supposed to tie up loose ends at the end of an episode for the end of a show. So, yeah, 6 out of 10.
All right. The lady of the Roided Owls, Lady Arwyn Avalon.
Okay.
Shoot, the floor is yours.
I'm going to give this. I was originally going to give it a 6.5. But the things that I loved about it, I loved Geordie in it. I loved, again, like everyone had said, some of those scenes, the one with Riker and Worf, when they're in the cube and you really think, okay, they're all going to die. It's just, wow. I'm going to give it a whole extra point. So I'm going to give it a 7.5, but mainly y'all, because of the score, the musical score in this episode alone took you through a Star Trek journey, because I recognized all of the, the First Contact, the main theme. At one point, they even had First Contact in a minor key, y'all. That's how much I love that theme.
And
And
Voyager.
I'm like, and Voyager, yes. So the score alone, I could just sit down and find the score just to this episode and listen to it on a loop. It kept me there. It grounded me. It was what I wanted. So that alone goes from a 6.5 to a 7.5. It's not nearly as strong as last episode. Just was so good to me. I cried. I loved it. This one wasn't quite there, and it had the quintessential 5-minute wrap up, which TNG was, infamous for. And I really don't give two shits about Jack and Seven and Crack Mama riding off. I don't care about. I really don't. But yeah, so I'll give it a 7.5, mainly for that fucking phenomenal score that just kept me there. And I love the poker game at the end. I love that. So yeah, that's my review on it.
All right. I was originally going to give this a 6. However, I agree with Arwyn about the music. So I'm going to give it a half a point for the score, because I think that that's been like with us the entire journey. It's not something they threw in there for feels. I believe the soundtrack for this entire season has been overwhelmingly positive. They've used music from Star Trek, the motion picture, from Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan, from First Contact, from Voyager. They've used all these different things in this
Star Trek 4
season. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the score. So I can't wait till I get my LPs. I've got the Picard season 3 to the blue, whatever they are, blue space LPs that are on back order right now. I've got one of those coming my way. I can't wait to listen to it. I can't wait to dive into that. I think this episode, though, there was things that didn't tie up. There are things that didn't follow up on. There are things that were never explained. I wanted more of a let's tie up what we've made instead of these MacGuffins. And I'm really going to get into that tomorrow. There's a lot of MacGuffins and a lot of mystery boxes and a lot of shit that just was never explained and we never went through. And I said that when we got to some of those before in the earlier reviews. I said they either need to explain this or I'm going to be pissed. Well, guess what? There's some shit that they never explained, and I am ticked off about it. I expected more. You guys have had this wonderful thing of bringing back these characters that we know and love and making them feel like these characters we know and love. However, you dropped the fucking ball with this story. And I can't think of a more egregious way to end it than, well, this is how it ends. I love seeing Q come back. Of course I love seeing Q come back. Why? Because he was my favorite damn villain in TNG. I loved Q. I loved it when he came on Voyager and he was like, Kathy, darling. Hello there, darling.
Yes.
Let's sit in
Madam
the hot
Captain.
tub. And let's sit in the hot tub and have champagne and talk about how we're going to have wild sex together. I loved it. I loved it. Oh, Aunt Kathy from his kid, calling her Aunt Kathy. I loved all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I loved how does the Q reproduce? Oh, they touch their fingers together. They touch their pointers together and boom, there's a baby. Oh my God. Isn't that great?
Touching tips.
Touching tips. They're docking, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
They're docking.
Oh, Lord.
Dave Bob's like, bleh.
I enjoyed seeing the D and the G together. Get a bit of the D and a bit of the G together. It would have been good for them to go on adventures, but sadly not.
The D and the G. The D, was the D rubbing the G?
No, they were right next to each other. They didn't.
Oh, you weren't using you weren't using that. Okay.
Mhm.
You were talking about the ships. I
The
thought you were.
ships.
I thought you were talking
God.
about
The Enterprise-D and the Enterprise-G. It wasn't called that at the time, but it turned into it.
the Titan. Yeah, you never do see the Enterprise and the Titan on the screen at the same time. I do not like the fact that they just scuttled the F and renamed it. They can kiss my ass. You don't do that. You don't do that. Let the F go be the F and keep being the Titan. So obviously, I've got some problems. Yeah, they're rubbing the cells, Snorri Poops Cupid, not in a good way.
You got to be careful, because you want to make sure the D hits the G spot.
Yeah, that's what I thought Ryan was talking about.
Yes, that's what I was trying
Oh my God.
to do.
And yeah, Snorri, what the hell happened to the E?
That
All
was
you
my
get
question.
is Worf going, it wasn't my
That's
fault.
my Enterprise, damn it.
No, that was it was Troy's fault. She's the one that flew it into Shinzon's ship.
But it launched after that. So it couldn't have been that. So the E relaunched after that because you see it in space dock being repaired. So if it was in space dock being repaired and it launched, why the hell is Warp saying it wasn't my fault? That wasn't my fault.
Spin-off show, de-age Worf and show how the Enterprise-D came down.
We're never gonna know what happened to the Enterprise. We're never gonna know.
Mystery box.
So it's a mystery box. It's something they threw out there that they're never gonna explain to us and they're not gonna give to us. So 6.5 out of me. I love the familiarity with characters, and that's pretty much that. And the music is pretty much everything that's driving that score. Not the story. Did I like hearing the voice of the Queen come back? Yes. Alison Krieg. Hell yeah. She's an amazing actress. It's too bad they couldn't get her in the suit, but I'm pretty sure she was like, F you. I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, she saw the designs like, I'm not putting up all that makeup.
We're not
You can get some young actress to do that.
I did like that they kind of connected that with Voyager. There's just too much wrong with the story. So 6.5 out of me. We'll be back. We'll be back next Friday, ladies and gentlemen, with one final show for you. We're going to talk about the whole season. We're going to really delve into this because there's some things that I loved and things I hated about this season. This will not save Star Trek.
I have over 30 pages of notes.
Okay.
Jesus.
Put them in the Picard chat, and yeah, we'll fight over it. Like Kirkwing Kirkbot, Spock on Vulcan. Anyway, we're out of here, guys. No late show tonight. I'm sorry. We'll be putting up a notification. Got to get up super early and pick up the man at the bottom, man himself, 24/7 Fusion from and go to the convention. So hit the convention Saturday, tomorrow morning, and be there most of the day. So no late show tonight. We will put an update out on the community page, but I want to thank everyone. Thank everyone. Really quick, guys, tell us where you are and what you got going on next. Arwyn.
I have no idea, Loki. I don't, y'all. My brain is fried. So just I'll pop up somewhere. You'll find me. Just look for me. I have no
Ryan
clue.
Roger Athay.
2 suggestion videos and reality-based episode 71 with the return of the Shagsworth at 9 p.m. UK time, which is 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Mountain, and 1 p.m. Pacific time. That's my schedule for today.
That's -6 GMT, y'all. If you go by Greenwich Mean Time. Dave Bob.
I guess I'll be back here next week, same time, same bat channel.
Hell yes. Rambling Canuck.
Well, tomorrow we'll
by
have
the
a
way,
couple of streams,
Happy
and then
birthday, you fucker.
yes, and then of course karaoke tomorrow night will be my birthday bash. I plan on having whiskey, so to hell with it. They'll clean my kidneys on Monday. Fuck it. I'm gonna have a few drinks and bring in 39 because next year I'm 40. Ouch. Anyway,
You're not young. I had no idea.
so tomorrow will be the birthday bash. I think Mary has another stream in the afternoon planned. I have no idea because I wanted nothing to do with it. But karaoke will definitely be tomorrow night, and we'll have we'll have a few drinks and a few songs, and yeah, it'll be a party.
Mark Van Tire says, "Happy birthday, you Canadian asshole."
Yeah, this is it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. This is the first birthday I have where I don't get to say that I'm getting drunk on the Queen's hungover, because today is traditionally Elizabeth's birthday, but she has passed away now, so
That's true.
it's the first birthday where I won't have the Queen having a hangover while I'm getting drunk.
Project story time.
I don't know if Eris is doing a show tomorrow or not.
She will probably do a live stream from the convention if her phone lets her.
Okay. Then I will not be on any show tomorrow then. And then as far as what I'm doing, I am compiling my over 30 pages of notes and starting to make a Picard season 3 review.
All right.
I love it.
I don't know when they'll be out. It will be done when it's done.
Like Cyberpunk.
Basically, yeah.
Hopefully, it's more successful.
He's angry. He's angry.
Get off my lawn.
Watch out. Someone was laughing her ass off the other day. And I was like, "Oh no!" Mark sits in the back and like got a sniper rifle out, ready to ban a bitch at a moment's notice. Can I take the shot, Loki?
Yes.
Can I take the shot?
He's always watching, y'all. Always watching.
24/7 Fusion. What do you got going on, brother? And where can people find you?
Well, I'll probably be doing a stream today, a little later, here in a couple hours, maybe sooner, who knows. And just getting ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's real big, man. Looking forward to kicking it with my brother Loki, and hopefully we'll be seeing all kind of great folks and kicking it with Echo Base and all kind of good shit. So I'm excited. I can't wait, man. I'm fucking dancing on the walls already. So
all right.
But other than that, just thankful to be here. Had a great time with everybody. You guys have been awesome. And, hopefully, everyone has a great day, and shit, I'm just happy to be here. So thank y'all for having me.
Likewise, 24.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for sharing in our Picard season 3, episode 10, the finale review of The Last Generation. Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter, and we will see you next week for the season review of Star Trek Picard season 3. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye everyone.
Take her easy, folks.
Peace.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.